Well, they had another episode of She-Hulk, and it wasn't any better. Although there were elements of it that, in proper hands, people who really care about narrative, hero's journey, character development, and that sort of thing, and most of all, plot, probably could have managed to forge an okay episode out of this. It starts off sort of intriguing, still heavily dependent on the silly. I know up front they said this is going to be a comedy, so all right. But after saturating Marvel with comedy at the expense of what it once was, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe they should have gone in the opposite direction. Made this like a full-on horror type turning into a monster story. I don't know. But anyway, or just, have somebody who understands how to write comedy and to how to land a joke and that sort of thing. They probably would have been much better off. But here it opens with a magician performing tricks that actually look pretty impressive. Of course, it's special effects, even though they show you he was hanging from a wire and all that type of stuff. But the audience is pretty much like the audience for the entire show of She-Hulk, not impressed and not really all that interested. So he keeps trying to get their interest, and they're not really paying attention. Meanwhile, his buddy off to the side of the stage is telling him, do the thing, do the thing. Say, what's the thing? Oh, guess what he has? Yes, one of those sling rings from Doctor Strange. That's basically a key to portals that'll open up. You can jump from one side of the planet to the other. That's a neat thing to do. Or you can open up other dimensions, including hellish netherworlds. So he does this. And, how did he get that? So that's the intriguing thing that, this will continue on from last episode where Wong showed up to explain Abomination and all that, and that was it, I guess. So it carries over with Wong to be further humiliated and treated like crap for this comedic romp. So this guy, he performs the trick, and he gets some drunken girl to come up on stage to be his volunteer. So she's supposed to be silly and funny. And look, with a better setup and better scenarios and dialogue, it might have worked out okay, but the stupid drunken girl is kind of played out. But it doesn't mean you can't use it. It's just you gotta know how. So she's like, this is cool and stuff. And then he opens the portal, and she gets trapped in it. But don't worry, she just laughs it off, shows up at Wong's place, where he's trying to watch The Sopranos. He's just now gotten around to watch it, so he's never seen it before, and he's getting all settled down to watch that. I mean, he's the Sorcerer Supreme because, Doctor Strange got blipped and all that. So you would think, but this is his me time, I guess. He had a little moment to watch Sopranos, but then here comes this drunken girl through a portal, holding a beating heart. I don't know. And she's just like, oh my God, this is the one where, and she spoils the episode for him. All that stuff, she just got transported to basically hell and then dumped in the living room of this strange man she's never met. Even though I know she's intoxicated and you want her to be the silly comic relief in this scene and all that, it's not believable whatsoever. I mean, really, the joke with her ended there, if you're going to send her to a world like that. If you just dropped her in Wong's place and she says, wow, what was I drinking? Yeah, I suppose it could have worked out. And that would have been enough for Wong to say, Donnie Blaze, which is the name of the magician. I don't know if there's any relation to Johnny Blaze, the Ghost Rider, but who knows. But anyway, so that's the setup for it. But I mean, the idea that she went through that and she's still just party girl and everything and stupid. She is very stupid and drunk, but I just don't think that's enough to justify to say that she's just laughing it up, that she went through, hell and back and ended up in Wong's living room. But they become besties apparently, and she nicknames him Wongers. Giggle tee hee, giggle. How about that? Meanwhile, if you didn't catch it already, men are awful. They're horrible people, even the nice ones. So Jen decides she wants to date, so she's signed up for a dating app and meeting guys. They're all horrible, except she finds the guy that really turns her on. How does he turn her on? Is it just because he's in shape and stuff and a doctor? No. It's because he says, hey, enough about me. I want to know about you. And there you go. That they pretty much, and I'm impressed because they pretty much admitted that their ideal woman, female character, is a woman who is completely self-absorbed, and it's all about her. And if you don't agree with that, you are beneath excrement. And so she's all turned on by him and all that stuff. Now, of course, to get any male interest in her, she had to change her profile from Jen Walters to She-Hulk, see? And so then she was getting all kinds of interest, but she settled on this guy because the other ones were all stupid, because, being men and all. And one of them, I kind of wondered if he was really into girls. But anyway, so they go off, they have their little romp, but then Wong interrupts it, and they got to go fight demons. Oh, I forgot. What does this have to do with She-Hulk anyway, with the magician and everything? Well, Wong, instead of dealing with this magician who has this powerful device that can open worlds to hell that releases demons and horrors on the earth, this guy, it turns out, was a dropout from the sorcerer school that Dr. Strange went to with the Ancient One and everything. And, this guy washed out pretty quick. He was only there for a week or two or whatever. But he got to keep his little sling ring, which is, again, pretty devastating object there. And so Wong's like, oh, you bad Donnie Blaze. And so instead of taking that back and, preventing him from performing any dangerous magic or what have you, he decides to sue him. And hires Jen Walters to represent him and to bar him from practicing the sorcery with materials that he learned from the school. So I'm not quite sure how that would really work. But nevertheless, that's what they do. Well, of course, he fights it, and they have a silly court case. The drunken girl shows up, hey, Wongers, and testifies about what happened and everything. But meanwhile, so the case is going forward, so in a bit of a stalemate, and then that's when this idiot opens up his doorway yet again, and little demons come out and all that sort of stuff. And so Wong goes and gets She-Hulk while she's about to get laid, and all she has to go and help him fight the demons, which actually, considering what he did, he really didn't need her at all. But she fought with the demons, So then he sends her back to her date, and she's got goblin guts all in her hair and stuff. But the guy's turned on, so they get it on. That's the scene where she carries the guy, to the bed and all that. So she's really into him and everything. But the next morning, she's turned back into Jen Walters, and he says, "Oh, well, who are you?" And she's, it's still me. I just changed back to my normal self." And he's like, "Oh, well, I gotta go. Don't call me. I'll call you." So, again, even the nice guy that she really liked is an asshole, because that's what men are. Holes in the ass. Yes, that's the message, in case you missed it. Well, now you know. So, there you go. So much stupid crap here. I mean, again, the sling ring, just leave it with this guy, and then he's all complaining, so he gets a lawyer. And I mean, it's like, it's all part of the silliness of it, but this just wasn't a viable case. They wanted to have silliness with the girl, but unless she had some past experience with superheroic stuff, I think she would be an emotional basket case after that. And not up to watching Sopranos with Wongers, Anyway, that's what they did. They just can't help them. So this is terrible. It's just stupid and bereft of ability. All the political messaging and stuff doesn't even matter. Don't even care about it. It's still it's not going to be as bad as Winter Soldier and Captain America, Falcon, and Winter Soldier, whatever, because of the absolute horrible ethic that they gave that and put that on their superhero that they supposedly were promoting and whatnot. Here, it's just dumb shit. It's misandry, of course, but a little bit of misogyny sprinkled through, because the one guy she was interested in, revealed a little too much there. So anyway, that's another episode of She-Hulk. How about that? Huh? Did it surprise you? Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, huh? So I don't know. I think it's just, I guess this is their attempt at an episodic series where it's just crazy stuff happens here, crazy stuff happens there. As far as for the overall Marvel narrative, yeah, you can skip it. I don't think there's anything to this. I suppose maybe here and there. Even the showrunners probably don't know. But, I mean, I guess the Daredevil appearance, that's what everyone's hanging out for, and that'll probably be the final episode, and they won't amount too much. They could have had Matt Murdock as just be one of the lawyers she interacts with at work, you know? But you'd have to think that through, and that's not going to happen. So anyway, there we go. We'll do another one next week, I guess.